When the Galactic Academy issued its annual call for elite trainees, the message was simple: send your best. And so they did. Civilizations across the known universe sent their champions. Genetically perfected warriors, their muscles coiled like steel springs. Armored exoskeleton elites, walking tanks bred for the battlefield. Bioengineered horrors designed for one purpose: survival. The Academy instructors, led by the seasoned Vexthor, prepared for the usual. Controlled failures, respectable scores, and the predictable, well-defined limits of alien biology. Then humanity sent Kate Brennan. She didn't arrive in ceremonial armor, flanked by a retinue of handlers. She just walked in. Dressed in slightly worn human fatigues, her dark hair tied back neatly. Her posture was relaxed, but her eyes were sharp, filled with a quiet confidence that was more unsettling than any display of brute force. She was normal, disarmingly so. She had a calm smile and steady movements, and a presence that suggested she belonged anywhere she chose to stand. Instructor Vexthor noticed her immediately. That should have been his first warning. The first test was the gravity chamber, a rite of passage designed to find the breaking point of every species. Most trainees tapped out at 2 or 3 times standard gravity. The Thoran, a proud warrior with skin like living stone, impressively lasted until 4. Then he collapsed. Kate stepped into the chamber next. 5 times gravity, Vexthor ordered, already motioning for the medical team to be on standby. The chamber hummed, the immense force pressing down. But Kate didn't collapse. She bent down. Then she started doing push-ups. 1, 2, 3. She counted, her voice steady. The chamber itself groaned under the strain. Equipment creaked. Outside, the mighty Thoran, whose people were famed for their endurance, finally gave out, his stone-like flesh cracking as medics rushed to his side. But inside, Kate just kept going. 17, 18, 19. At 6 times gravity, the observation windows began to strain. At 8 times gravity, the absolute maximum the system could handle, the entire facility protested, alarms beginning to flash. Kate finally lay flat on her back, breathing hard, sweat darkening her uniform. Her cheeks were flushed, but her eyes were still alert, still bright. "Okay," she said between breaths, looking up at the ceiling. "Yeah, that one's rough." She had lasted 12 minutes. The multi-million credit state-of-the-art gravity chamber lasted 8 before it buckled. Quietly, for the first time, Vexthor opened the human data file. The title of the first chapter read, "Death World Adaptations and Why You Should Be Concerned." He was. Just 3 hours later, the alarms blared again. This time it was a Class 7 biological hazard breach. Vexthor sprinted to the security monitors, his heart pounding in his chest, and then he felt his very soul begin to detach from his body. There on the screen was Kate Brennan. She was sitting cross-legged in Section 7 Delta, a restricted zone containing Celian thorns, alien plants whose spores caused immediate total respiratory collapse in every known species. She was eating lunch, reading a data pad. She looked relaxed. "She's been in there for 11 minutes, his assistant Krill Nex whispered in absolute horror. "She should be a puddle of dissolved organic matter by now." Vexthor slammed his hand on the intercom. "Kate, you are in a lethal hazard zone. Evacuate immediately." She looked up from her data pad and smiled, waving cheerfully at the camera. "Oh, is this area restricted? Sorry about that, it just smells kinda nice in here. Like rosemary. and something spicy. That something spicy is a military-grade neurotoxin, Vexthor roared. Kate sniffed the air again thoughtfully. Huh. Maybe that's why I have a tiny headache. She then had the audacity to ask if she could finish her lunch first. An analysis of her meal later revealed it consisted of substances the galaxy classified as chemical weapons, industrial corrosives, and controlled toxins. When asked about it, Kate just shrugged. Honestly, kinda disappointing. I was hoping for more of a kick. Vexthor felt like he aged 10 years in that single moment. Next was the Predator Gauntlet, the ultimate test of combat prowess. No trainee had ever neutralized all 3 of the bioengineered Ravagers released into the arena. As the beasts were unleashed, their claws glinting under the arena lights, Kate's first question was, "Can I pet them?" Inside the gauntlet, the predators advanced in a perfect lethal hunting formation. Kate just sighed, putting her hands on her hips. Oh, come on. You guys just look like angry lizards with commitment issues. The first Ravager lunged, a blur of teeth and claws. She sidestepped it with impossible ease and lightly tapped it on its armored head. Bad, she scolded gently. We don't jump at people. The Ravagers stopped, all 3 of them. They tilted their massive heads, a flicker of what looked like genuine confusion in their predatory eyes. Kate sat down, right there on the arena floor. Look, I'm tired. You're tired. Let's all just calm down for the next 18 minutes, okay? One by one, the galaxy's most efficient killing machines sat down. Then they lay down. And then, impossibly, they leaned into her touch as she started scratching behind their armored ridges, smiling softly like she was calming nervous farm animals back home. In the observation deck, Vexthor stood up, walked out of the room, walked back in, and confirmed that reality did, in fact, still exist. He slumped into his chair. I'm going to need therapy, he said to no one in particular. The tests continued. Radiation exposure, hard vacuum simulations, chemical baths. Kate passed everything. The high-level radiation only gave her a mild sunburn, and she complained it reminded her of a disappointing beach season. By the time the Academy board arrived for their inspection, Vexthor was a broken instructor. Earth has been reclassified, the lead director Naylan admitted, his expression grim. It's now officially designated a Class 12 death world. There was a stunned silence in the room. That's the highest possible rating, he added unnecessarily. They had sent a standard-issue human to a training program designed for species from Class 3 to Class 7 worlds. It was like sending a god to a children's playground. We wanted to see what would happen, the board member confessed. Vexthor just started laughing, a hollow, unhinged laugh. Then he put his head down on the desk with a soft thud. At the graduation ceremony, Kate stood in her crisp, formal uniform, looking clean, composed and glowing with that effortless human charm. In the front row, sitting obediently like well-trained puppies, were the 3 Ravagers from the Gauntlet. She had received a perfect score, breaking every record in the Academy's history. I just want to say thanks, she said into the microphone, her voice sincere. This was really challenging, especially the corrosive fog maze. That was fun. Vexthor's eye twitched uncontrollably. After the ceremony, she found him and smiled. You're a really good teacher, she said. Tough, but fair. He just nodded slowly. Somewhere deep inside his hardened alien mind, something fundamental and irreplaceable shattered into a million pieces. Vexthor filed his transfer request that very same day. His assistant, Krill Nex, ever helpful, suggested a new posting. Earth, she said brightly. They're looking for instructors to experience a Class 12 death world firsthand. Vexthor simply turned and walked away without a word. Somewhere in the biodome, the beautiful, impossible human named Kate Brennan was teaching a pack of apex predators how to play fetch. And across the galaxy, on thousands of worlds, military leaders and intelligence agencies were quietly updating their threat assessments. Humans were no longer just survivors, they were the new standard. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more tales from across the cosmos. See you next time.